Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to the Can't Catch a Break. I am DJ and Dr. Charlene Johnson. We can't catch a break. I am DJ.
Sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. I'm sick and then sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. And from human see me this way. Sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way.
Hey guys, I have 3 questions for you today.
Sweet, I'm so tired
Are you
sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way. See me this way. Sweet, I'm so tired sweet, I'm so tired you see me this way.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to the Can't Catch a Break. I am DJ and Dr. Charlene Johnson. We want to thank you all for listening to Can't Catch a Break. If you like to subscribe, go ahead. Tell us what you think. Your feedback is very important. Yes, it is. Some of you probably at home or at work, uh, but I thank you for listening anyway. When you have the time to, we really appreciate you uh, listening. Once again, we're here to talk about issues. We're here to talk about the facts of life. We're here to play games. We're here to tell the truth. Where's knowledge, there's power. And I believe that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Okay? That's the thing is. And we're in a society right now where some don't want to change. Some don't want to change. Some have set in their ways. We see it now. America. And you know what? We often hear about people saying, "Oh well," people always complaining. The truth shall make you free. The truth shall set you free. People need to hear the truth. That's the only good. That's the only good. Good prevails against evil any day. Okay, that's what we're dealing with right now. A lot of evil is happening in America right now, and we see it. Lives has been affected. I mean, it's people out here, and I'm telling you, people need to stick together. Okay, this nation was found under one nation under God, one nation under God. Okay, so who is God? God is a supreme, supernatural being. Okay, so that's what he is. He's supernatural. He made the heavens and earth. And I'm not here to throw no religion on it, but I'm just saying from what the Bible says. And when and then when man comes against that, I'm talking about the rule of law. What is the rule of law as it relates to our federal government? What is the rule of law? For those I came on live, and if you'd like to subscribe once again, please do. Tell us what you think. Your feedback is very important. But I want to talk about the rule of law. Excuse me. It's whether, sorry. Talk about the rule of law. Yes. Now you see what's going on, right? It's bigger than when it comes to whoever hold a position. Okay, whoever hold whatever from the legislative to judicial to local to state. It's bigger because the law is for the people when it comes to them obeying it and following it. The rule of law. I'm not someone a scholar or anything like that, but I do know that we follow the law. We follow the law. Now, most countries, you got communist countries, you got authoritarian countries, you got countries, monarchy countries, you have different things, different ones, not things, but different ones. And you see what's taking place with them, right? You see the calamity, the things that's happening. You know, communist countries, regimes, and stuff. You see what's happening overseas, But for those that's listening, we're not here to be critical, judge, or point anyone down. We're here to talk about issues that are affecting us as long as we're on this earth. And people are being affected, believe it or not. They are. Because right now, we have a system right now. We're supposed to be under the Constitution of the United States. And we see where those laws are not being followed. The Constitution is not being followed. It's not being obeyed. When you look at what's going on, and it's like I never seen a political thing where they can go in there in the Department of Justice and just start firing everybody. And this is political. Even though, position you held, and people are following the law, they obeying the law. So why are they getting fired? You know, uh, and I'm seeing it happen through the FBI. You see it in the Inspector General judges getting fired. I mean, wow. Dismantling the FBI, the CIA, as doors are open. These doors are open. These doors are being opened as we speak. And many people are looking at America right now. America has a lot of enemies, okay? And when they start getting rid of those partners that are watching, protecting, then guess what happens? They can come in. They can come in. We seen it once again. When America dropped their guards, when they think that they can handle it, they get pride and arrogant. What happens? We seen it in 9/11, right? And we pray for the families and those that lost loved ones, you know, in that tragic event. Now, it is now 2025, okay? The rule of law, okay? When it relates to the federal government and all branches of government, the executive, the legislative, the judicial, they must operate in the bounds of the established laws. Okay? No one, person, or entity being above the law. It, Ensuring equal application and enforcement for everyone, including government officials, is central. The government itself must follow the laws it creates and enforce for citizens. So, what happens when uh, the Supreme Court been challenged, and you see these unconstitutional acts happen? What do you do? What do you do? Do you just let it go and they know that this is wrong? Also disobey that, the rule of law? Okay? The law is the law. You can't twist it. You can't sidestep it. It's the law. And you see the twisting going on randomly now. This is bigger than Republicans and Democrats. This is the law. These are people that's going to protect you, the country. Because right now, we see things are unfolding. People are being investigated for no reason. They haven't committed no crimes. They're being targeted. We see that on the news. Why is that? The law is supposed to go after the criminals, those that break the law. People that are obeying the law shouldn't be attacked. That ain't what our law stands for. And see, from all government officials and agencies, they must be held accountable to the law. and responsible for their actions. Now, we gotta understand accountability. That means that hey, you know what? If you do something wrong, then you have to deal with the law. No matter what position you held, no matter what position you held, you still got to deal with what the law says. And the laws must be publicly accessible and clearly defined. Let's talk about transparency. Yes, no, you cannot tell if the Supreme Court judges are going by the law, the Constitution, or by the law. There should be no compromise of changing the law when it comes to a thing that you want to happen that is unconstitutional. And you know, we make people goes to school, goes to these Harvard law schools and Yale, and there's a lot of people right now will be confused because they're teaching about the law, but then we see the higher courts doing things. We see them doing things that are as against what the law says. No one is above the law. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And that it needs to be still in effect because we see the way that things are happening right now. The quid pro quo, you do a favor for me, I do a favor for you. And when it comes to a crime, there should not be no favors done. Okay, the rule of law stands. Nobody's above the law. Transparency, everyone. Transparency is needed from your local to your state to your federal. It needs to be followed and defined clearly. Now, we see what's happening right now. The courts are there to review and interpret laws when it comes to the government acts within the legal boundaries. That's what the judiciary is. No, you tell judges that you can't do this, you can't do that. That means that you're saying I can do what I want to do as a top official, a top position I hold in the office. I could tell them that no, that's not the way it is. That's not the way it is. And we see now that it's a lot of grudges going on. And then this is the thing is you got politicians, not all, but some on both sides when it comes to people, the ones that's trying to get something through and the Supreme Court rejects. But sometimes they don't come they don't come to obey. They wait. They wait. When they have a mandate of what the judge says when it comes to not doing something that the judge rejected. So when you defy orders, then guess what? It's against the law. And we see it's happening right now. Money, you know, when you see what's happening. So when it comes to the courts independent, they have the authority to review and interpret laws, ensuring that the government acts within the legal boundaries. The rule of law is is for the people, the people, the citizens, everyone that's in the United States. Law should be applied to everyone, regardless of their position and status. You don't get a pass if you do something criminal. You don't do a pass, and that's what we're seeing right now in the United States courts. I'm not saying they ain't doing it, but you've seen people trying to twist it, trying to push it. But they want to try to change the Constitution to fit their needs. We see that. We see that. Yeah. You see, when we talk about the common law rule, see, those are rules that were set by the federal courts. We gotta look at that. A federal common law rule. That's what they call a federal common law rule. It's a binding, a legal binding. I was reading that. Let's say set to federal rules, federal courts about government issues, especially I think it's addressed by the terms of the constitutional or statutory provisions. Okay, and that's what people gotta start reading up on because we seeing some things is happening, and there's a law form of government, which is I'm gonna give y'all more when I always take notes. I always do this because I want people to understand this is the facts. I don't bring this off the top of my head or just make this up. But we read, we study. A law form of government is a self government. It will say which all persons, including the government, are accountable under the law. Okay, remember that. And people can understand that. And we have the rule of law, federal, which is what I'm talking about, is the principle under which all persons, institutions, entities are accountable to laws that are publicly propagated, equally enforced, independently adjudicated, and consistent with the international human rights principles. So we look at this. There's laws for everything that people try to twist just to see if they can outdo the law or they come up with an agenda to try to twist. This does, and when it comes to the law, politics and law should be separate anyway, because this is law enforcement. This is the courts. This is not politics. So when we see the politicians using their uh, influences to try to change the law, then you're not a judge. You're not someone that deals with issues like that because your field is political, and we see this happening right now. We're seeing it happen, but the people have to stand up. We have to stand up, and it matters. It does matter. It really matters what's taking place in America right now. We see what happens right now. We see that there's a lot of things that's trying to get through the through the system. You know, okay. And someone need to, if you have something, go to a website. Go to a federal court website. Go to .gov. You'll find out there's a lot of things that's right now that You can see when nine federal judges in a short video explain how fair and consistent adheres to the way the laws protect our rights in everyday situations, like even buying a sandwich, breakfast sandwich, reading the mail, investing, the stock market. Okay, we have to firmly believe in the rule of law and the foundation of the best of the rights of the basic rights. Yeah, so we have to understand that it's right now. We have to understand it because a lot of people, some people want to twist it. They want to twist it. They want to twist it. They want to try to take over the law. It's unconstitutional. Can't do that. So look at the video. Read up on it. Don't let nobody tell you anything. You read yourself. You find out yourself. You have history classes. You know, I mean, find out what the rule of law. Find out, and I guarantee you, you'll see exactly what's trying to take place to change the laws. You have people that are in positions right now, from attorney generals in the high court of federal, and we look at in Washington D.C. how the judges are paying attention to that because some people will try to take over and think they're above the rule of law. Nobody is, and it must be spoken up. It must be spoken up. People have resigned positions because they did not want to commit a crime because they was true to the law. You know, and being loyal to someone does not mean you don't supposed to commit a crime because you're loyal to a person. And when you think about it, think about your future. Think about what you went to school for, your law license and all that. There's people today in jail right now, stripped their license, and they knew better. They knew about the law. They went to school, Harvard, Yale, and they got involved in politics. And what happens? They got caught up trying to be loyal to a person. And look what they're looking at. Their career is ruined because of trying to be above the law. It, but you can't do that. You can't do that. We are the people of the United States of America in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. Remember that. You got to read that. Learn that preamble. Learn that. uh Because if you look at that, it's telling you who you are. We are equal. We are equal. And the judges that are listening to these cases from appellate courts to the Supreme Courts right now, as long as they stay within the law and not go above the law, then and do that's right, then everybody will be happy. Unconstitutional is unconstitutional. You can't break the law. You can't break the law. The rule of law. So I just wanted to enlighten someone that thinking that just because have a high position and you have the power and authority to remove people from office, that you can tell others that you put in positions that have a higher position in their role of government to go after people and then people ain't even committing a crime. That's not the law, and that's what they're doing right now. Some are trying to take the law into their own hands, and that's why so many cases are heading to the Supreme Court now, because we see a lot of this happening now. People are being pardoned. Business people are being pardoned. When I look at that, it's Ponzi schemes. People ripped off people money. They've been pardoned. Ponzi schemes. They being ripped off. Really, they out. Murderers have been let go. Then they go out back and commit crimes. It should change that too, okay? Because they give them more to say, well, he let me out, and I can go do other things too, and it ain't gonna happen to me. That's not what the rule of law is about. Rule of law is about serving, protecting. That's what it is. And the rule of law is commitment. What the judge says, commitment to everyone fairly. Okay, so that's what we have to look at. Okay, make the law clear in every legal proceeding, transparent, balancing individual rights against the safety of others. So, and that's what we're seeing right now. There's a lot of things that are happening right now that, man, I tell you, I never just, they gonna say never, but I see, things, what's gonna come down the line that when when power and all that take place, when people are brainwashed, some of them are, they'll think right wrong and wrong right when it comes to the law too. So that's trouble when you do that, because no one's above the law. Yeah. So I think that it's good that the people are the courts are being challenged. I really believe that in this challenge, that there'll be some things that will be shut down because there's unconstitutional. Yeah. And what they're doing right now, you thinking about it. So we just gotta pray as people. We gotta pray. We gotta pray. Gotta keep on praying. And that's what we have to do. Because prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. I just wanted to get on here and talk about that because I see in the Senate that I see the Senate how right now there's an issue going before each side of the law when it comes to obeying it. That everyone should obey the law, the rule of law. No one should be above the law. So when they get there to the Supreme Court, they will see that how things could be argued out of saying that no one is above the law, no matter what position you held. It needs to be clarified because we see that there's some things that are not right, unconstitutional to the fullness. Unconstitutional to the fullness. There's a lot of things that have been broken already that's on the news. To see, that you watch. Yeah, these things that happened before us. So we want to thank you all for listening to Kick and Cancer Break. Please subscribe. Tell us what you think as we go in through these many platforms by Riverside FM podcast. Yes, catch us on Riverside podcast, Riverside FM podcast. Yes. Also catch us on YouTube too, where you can hear us also on YouTube. and Facebook and Twitter and many platforms. Yeah, and all those that are talking, the warning. There's different people are talking about this situation about the rule of law. Yeah, so you got people out there that's concerned about America, that cares about America, the people, the voters that vote people in, not to be abused, neglected, treated bad, and the law must be followed. So thank you all. Y'all have a blessed and a fantastic and a wonderful and a good day. I'm DJ and Dr. Sharp. Thank you for listening to Can't Catch a Break.
So tired.